Welcome to My Wild Magic with me, your host, Adrienne Cobb. Join me on a journey back home to your truest self in this inspiring, enlightening, and entertaining show. After a near-death experience in a car crash at 15 years old, I made a choice to stay and brought back with me 3 simple truths that I found from the other side. Love is all there is. Our time is over here quicker than we think, and we all have a purpose, a soul blueprint to fulfill. On this show, you will find a higher purpose, a creative expression, and unique soul attributes that you can bring forth into this world. Stay tuned with me for the next hour and find your higher purpose on My Wild Magic, starting now. Welcome, everyone. I am so happy that you're joining me today, and I'm extra happy today because my book publisher came out with my first of a series of 3 different books here, Your Tribe of Light. Your Tribes of Light, a roadmap to manifesting miracles in your life. So you can check that out at mywildmagic.com under the shop icon. And check it out. That's what we're going to be talking about today, is a little bit around the tribes of light, what kind they are and how they relate to you, what's the importance of them. You can also go to my website, mywildmagic.com, to take the free quiz that is also listed there. The quiz helps to kind of to guide you through some questions to help you based on your personality and your soul energy to kind of look at a little bit more closely what your tribe of light is most indicating towards. You can have sort of a hybrid where we have different tribes of light that come in and work with us that kind of join together. So in other words, you could have a hybrid where perhaps, on some level you might be working with angelic energy, but then you might also be connected to star beings. So it's really a lot of fun. And the thing I love most about the tribes of light is that they are an amazing support system. So how I came across the tribes of light for myself is in a near-death experience in a car accident. I was 15, driving, lost control in the rain, and left my body. And when I went up, there was a fair amount of light, golden light and energy. I remember that there were these big angelic beings, very tall, golden kind of, angelic beings that I now call the Great Central Sun Angels. And in that accident, there was somebody in the accident that I cared very deeply for, that I wanted to get back to make sure they were okay. And when I was out, I just remember, all the light, but I was so fierce in my determination and willpower about coming back in to make sure my friend was okay. And just really said, hey, this is great to meet you or whatever, but I got to get back in. Now, that's kind of my memory of it, right? But I think that there's probably a little bit more to it. I feel like sometimes near-death experiences are initiations. They are initiations in how we open up certain parts of our intuition. Particularly, you find people who've had head injuries will sometimes have that. I'm not sure what happens, but I think sometimes when people have somehow their life has been threatened, they've lost consciousness for some reason, they've had head injuries, they have had certain traumas, it just seems to kind of open something up. And I mean, it's not that you always have to have that. I think that you can also have near-death experiences or spiritual awakenings, if we just wanted to call it that, in very positive, beautiful ways as well. But for me, it just happened to be a car accident. So my memory is I'm out, I see these beings, all this light, and I just want to get back to my friend Jill to make sure she's okay, and rushing back into my body. But like I said, based on what I've unraveled between that experience and healing work and brain spotting and EMDR, a bunch of different things I've done, that, I feel that relationship was probably a very karmic relationship between she and I, that there was a reason for it. I feel like she did die in the car accident. So I feel like she probably would have passed from this earth one way or the other. If it hadn't been with me, that it probably would have been in another way that may not have been as easy or graceful as the car accident was, because it was a very easy car accident in a sense. She hit her head as well, but she hit it harder and maybe against a telephone pole. and the way the car hit, and was out and gone within the hour. There really wasn't even a lot of blood, a lot of trauma. She was just gone. So, that's going to be better than some of the other ways that people can go sometimes, I think. So let's say we had a karmic agreement with one another, and that happens. And that might have been a time in my life where I was going to have this initiation to open up my spirit faculties that geared me up towards what I've done my whole life. So after the car accident, my friend Jill did pass away. So she passed away within the hour, and I just sort of went into shock for about 6 months, really kind of slept a lot. I think that in that time period of sleeping, yes, that can be indicative of a concussion, minor concussion, head injury, but it's also indicative of somebody who's being downloaded, sort of like a baby, where babies sleep a lot because they're being downloaded with new information. And for me, I feel like a lot of that was kind of a combination of maybe dealing with the shock, the trauma, the head injury, but also a download of energy. And by the time I was 20-ish, right around there, I went and got initiated into Reiki. And when I got my third Reiki initiation, the first one I just felt really drawn towards. The second one I followed through pretty quickly. I went into massage school. And the third one is a big jump. Level Reiki 3 is a big jump. I do initiate people into Reiki. I just really love it for the consciousness aspect of it. And when I got initiated into Level Reiki 3, that's when everything that had kind of happened in the car accident. So within about a 4 to 5 year span, it took me that time to really kind of integrate, I think, a lot of the experiences. And then once I got initiated in Level Reiki 3, and I was in massage school, boom, all of a sudden when I was doing, massages on people, my intuition was just seeing past lives. It was seeing images, all kinds of cool information started coming through. I finished massage school, but I did not go into massage, even though I do love it and I love hands-on healing. I went straight into doing readings with people, got a job at a one of the larger health, resource centers in Atlanta. I started doing readings with people. And at first it was angel readings, body readings, where I would scan somebody on the table. I would use gemstones, flower essences. It was, kind of a lot of fun. Then it migrated into angel readings where I realized more information was coming in. And I would sit and I'd do a reading on somebody before they came in and just write up whatever was coming in on their soul and on behalf of these beings, which I felt like were my angels. So I called them angel readings. And it was very soul related. And before long, I was doing readings without having to write anything up. It was just information flooding in. And now I mostly work with people by phone. And information is just really instantaneous on that person's soul. So over the years of doing the readings with people, I began to notice that when I tune into their soul and get what was going on that their soul wanted to work on, emotions, something to clear, some places their soul wanted them to kind of move in a direction of, whatever is most relevant. I began to notice also that there was a group of beings that would be with that person. And sometimes they would look sort of like star beings, like flashes of light, like stars in a sense. Sometimes they would be like tall rays of light, which to me was an indicator of planetary beings. Sometimes they were very fiery, like a galactic council of beings, like many different types of beings coming together are very fiery, very passionate, more galactic, just wanted to be of service. Sometimes they were cosmic beings where they were really expanded consciously, really evolved, very far out kind of beings. With the angels, they would come in and I would feel them in my heart, very feeling oriented, super healing to work with. And they would sort of look a little bit like angelic beings. Sometimes they would have like a pinkish hue if it was an angel of divine love that that person worked with, or a bluish frequency if it was Archangel Michael. Occasionally, I would have people who came in and their whole devotion on a soul level was to ascended masters and working with them. And where oftentimes if I see an ascended master in somebody's energy field, past lives will also come in, or maybe they have had a lifetime where they were a Zen master, or they were a yogi, or they were in a Mayan temple or something like that. But maybe they worked with Kuan Yin. So there's different temples will show up, ascended masters, beings of that nature. And occasionally I'll have people and they just have nature spirits around them. It's very clear that they can commune in a sense with tree spirits, fairies, devas, plants, animals. And even though when I'm doing a reading with somebody, they may not be super uber conscious of the beings in their field, when I relate to them on a soul level, aspects of their personality energy, they relate to it. They're like, yes, I very much feel like a yogi, or yes, I very much feel very centered and non-emotional like a planetary being. Or because when you're talking to somebody on a soul level, when you're speaking the truth to somebody on a soul level, they can feel it in their soul. So it doesn't have to logically make sense when somebody has that experience. So it's kind of a cool thing that happens there. So working with people over years, I'm 53 now, and I've been, actually I'll be 54 next month in April. And I've been doing this work since I was 20-ish, right? And just doing readings with people. It's just what I've been drawn to do my entire life. I, probably couldn't keep a 9-to-5 job if really I had to. I've tried, and it never really works out for more than a few months. And this is just my calling this lifetime, which I'm so grateful to get to be, of service to people in this way. And so working with people, there was things that started coming in. And one of the first things that I learned about people, other than how to read their soul energy versus their emotions and thought forms and all that, is that they have a tribe of light. And that there seem to be 7 sort of basic categories. There's many different types of cosmic avatars, types of star systems, planetary systems, many different types of angels. And the more you're sitting with that person, the more information you get about, are they coming in from the Pleiadian star system or the Sirian star system? Is it one that goes out beyond kind of universes, like way further out? Is it Andromeda? So there's these different star systems, different types of angels, different types of beings. And so the more you sit with a person on a soul level, the more their unique tribe of light comes in closer around them. And what I always like doing is introducing people to their tribe of light by just simply inviting them in, calling them in, inviting them in. And every single thing in existence has a signature to its energy field. And that signature, sort of like our fingerprint, is a sound wave quality, a sound frequency, a light, vibrancy of light, a color frequency, a symbol that will sometimes represent a person, a sound, let's see, a fragrance that will come in. So light, color, sound, and then a feeling tone. So when we get back, we're going to go in to call into your tribe of light so that you get a better feeling for them in this podcast. So stay tuned. We'll be back in just a moment. All right, we're back. I am Adrienne. This is My Wild Magic with Adrienne on Transformation Talk Radio. And thanks for joining me today. Today, we are talking about my new book that's out, Tribes of Light. And it is a roadmap to manifesting miracles in your life. And that's really what the Tribes of Light do. They not only help you to connect into your unique soul blueprint, but they do help you to manifest your best life. They can at times do a divine intervention and do things on your behalf as a guidance system, a guidance team. They're really quite magical and miraculous. So let's jump right into it. And first, I just want to start introducing you to your own tribe of light that you just want to feel with your intuition. And with people's intuition, some people are very claircognizant. They feel things more through their crown chakra, and it's like knowing something without knowing how they know it. For some people, it's through their third eye. They are clairvoyant. They really see things. They see lights and colors and beings and all that. Sometimes people are clairaudient. It's more of a hearing of the voice of their tribe of light, more clairaudient. Sometimes along with that comes feeling tones as well as sound, because feelings and emotions are also vibratory on that level. Some people feel it through their heart. They just might have a really all of a sudden profound heart opening experience with their tribe of light and feel their presence coming in around them and connect on a heart level. Some people are clairsentient, picking it up more in their emotional body. And then there's also the form of, intuition. It's more your body wisdom coming into that sacral knowing, that second chakra. Sometimes people get chills or they feel a warmth or a heat coming around them. You know, yeah, so it can be a really pleasant feeling actually when your tribes of light come in. To begin with, then, I just want you to take a deep breath. And anytime you're using your intuition, you really just want to center yourself and clear your energy so that when you tap into your intuition, it's not running through the filter of all your emotions or all your belief systems or thought forms or other people's projections. You just want a clear, clean space. Clear slate here. And the way that we create a clean slate in our energy field and we come back into the present moment is just with the breath. The breath is your healing instrument. It will help you to heal emotions that come up. It'll help you to have clear thought, to get guidance, come into the present moment, help your physical body to heal. So breath is really the essence that of spirit moving through our beingness and all four bodies, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. So your breath is a way that it moves through all of them. So I just want you to begin breathing in and breathing out. And for some, it might be easy to breathe up the spine and down the spine. So try that, breathing up the spine, clearing out the energy and breathing down your spinal column, grounding into the earth, breathing up the spinal column. Connect all the way up into source energy above your head, and then breathing down through your spinal column, your crystalline core, all the way to the heart of the earth. Breathing that energy up from the heart of the earth, up through your body, all the way up to that portal of light into source energy, all the way back down. For some people, they prefer to breathe in and out of the heart. It's another really nice way to do it. So you can breathe out the heart as if you're breathing out like an exhale, or like an exhale. And then you're breathing in to the heart that you've come home, breathing out the heart. I've arrived. Breathing into the heart. I am home. You're also breathing into one of the, the major energy centers for Qigong, the middle Tantian. So breathing out the heart, expanding your breath, and then breathing in. Some people like to breathe on an in-breath. They expand their heart. And on an out-breath, they come back in. So whether you're breathing out with your out-breath or in with your in-breath, either way, you can do it in reverse. Either one's going to work. And you'll just notice that usually it takes 3 to 5 breaths and you start to feel more centered. We're going to do a couple more here, but 10 breaths. You will find that you are creating coherence between your heart and your mind. And that's really what we're looking for here is coherence, balance, coherence between the head and the heart. So just breathing now between the heart. And then maybe breathing out of the mental body, the head. And then breathing into the head. And then breathing out the heart. We're just focusing on gratitude, being just grateful for this moment, grateful for life, breathing into your heart. Breathing out your head area. Breathing into your head. Breathing out your heart. You can also add your sacrum in. Okay, so you can start to feel that your colors might be a little more vibrant. Your cares and concerns of the day are fading away. You're more in your body. It's just so simple to do 10 breaths, usually to the count of 5.5, and then out 5.5. So however you want to follow that breath, that's all you're focused on. And it silences the mind and the emotions. Okay, now that we've cleared ourselves and we're more centered, we're more approachable by our tribe of light. Because when you're super chaotic and all your mental thinking, all your emotions, all the chaos of life, all the list of things you got to do today, there's really not much room for them to come in. They don't feel necessarily your beings, your guides, your counsel, your family of light don't necessarily feel very, there's not very much space for them in your life, right? So this breathing technique is not only really good to connect to your tribe of light, your own I am presence, your own intuition and heart wisdom. It's also good when you're going to be around your kids, your pets, your partner, your family, your friends, your job. So the breathing is super, super good to become really fully present and in your body for anyone that you are focusing your awareness, your attention on and spending time with, or maybe even an act of creativity. If you're an artist or a musician, or you're working on something, or you're working in school and you're trying to concentrate, or you're taking a test, that breathing is a miraculous tool for opening up your higher energy centers, your higher chakras. It's as if doing that breath connects you to the all that is, the divine mind, the heart of all creation, source energy. So if you were taking a test or you were doing an interview, when you do that breathing, it opens up aspects of your intuition in your higher mental body and pineal gland and higher chakra system that don't get activated when you're doing shallow breathing and you're caught up in the emotional realm or the mental realm. So this is very centering. Okay, so with that, we're just going to breathe in now. And I just want you to relax into yourself, just relaxing in your body, centering yourself in your heart, that chamber of your heart. And we're just going to call into your own tribe of light. So I'm calling forth, I am, which is a great I am statement. I am calling forth to my tribe, or you could say the word council, or you could say the word family, or whatever word works best for you. My tribe, council, family of light to come in and around me. And so with anybody who's listening in the moment or perhaps later to this podcast, this video, just breathing in and noticing, I am calling forth to my tribe, council, or family of light, or any other word you want to use, to come in and around me. And I want you to pay attention just to the subtlety of your energy field. Lights, colors, fragrance, sound, symbols, a simple knowingness. Maybe it's visual, maybe it's a knowingness, maybe it's audible, maybe you sense them or feel them. It might be a sensation in your body. I'm just going to be quiet and give you a moment. Feeling your own tribe, council, family of light coming in and around you, and just noticing perhaps a more familiar type connection come in. A sense of them. And oftentimes it can even bring up a sense of emotion, feeling, familiarity. A calmness, level of unconditional love and acceptance. And they really are your family of light, just like you have a biological family that you're experiencing in this lifetime. In other lifetimes, they weren't your family. They might have been your enemy. They might have been somebody else. They might have been a friend or something. But your family of light, this group of beings that you connect with, they stay with you lifetime to lifetime. They are with you when you are interdimensional, when you're dimensionally traveling, soul traveling, when you're asleep at night, when you come into this world as an infant and a baby, they're enfolding you. When you're in utero, they're enfolding you and helping to download you and support you in utero. They help you with your birth. They help you when you're an infant. A lot of times babies, as we get a little bit older, 2-3 years old, sometimes we'll have, different things go on that we lose connection. But usually babies and infants are actually looking at if you see them looking around the room and smiling, that's oftentimes they're looking at their tribe of light. Or if you get little kids, sometimes 4 or 5, even 6 years old, that say they have invisible friends, invisible friends oftentimes can be their tribe of light that they're seeing in a certain way. Mine were Herman, Dobbin, and Reuben. And, it's just the way I kind of labeled them as a child. So, and then when people get ready to leave, oftentimes if you're sitting with somebody who's in the dying process, they will notice angels or lights. A lot of times they notice loved ones that come over from the other side. And your tribe of light is not loved ones from this lifetime or the lifetimes. They're literally going to be angels, cosmic beings. So that's different. You can have loved ones, you can have spirit guides, things like that, but your tribe of light's a little bit different. So just noticing how you feel in your body. Any warmth, peacefulness, a sensation, a knowingness, any colors, lights, symbols, feeling enfolded. Some people feel very energized, very alive. Some people feel deeply touched. So just noticing that energy as it comes in and around you. And as they come closer and closer to your energy field, and just welcoming them in, being grateful for them being there, and just starting with gratitude for a moment. Just great gratitude that they're there. Again, you know them from many in a much deeper way than what you might remember in this moment. So we're going to go to a quick break. Stay tuned, come back, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the unique individual tribes of light. Hey, welcome back. I'm Adrienne again. Today I am sharing with everybody my new book, Tribes of Light. And it's all about a roadmap to manifesting miracles in your life using the spiritual realm to help us. We got a lot of helpers on the inner levels, and the tribes of light are all about helping us in any way they can. As a matter of fact, the tribe of light, your tribe of light actually evolves through getting to support you. So when you're going through things in life and you're asking for their support, their assistance, it kind of helps them to evolve too by getting to be in connection with you, because they're not necessarily in human form, right? So getting to connect with you helps them to evolve, and you get to evolve with all their wisdom from the other side. So it's a really nice, supportive relationship that's very collaborative on both behalves. And like I said, they're there with us all the time. When we finally put our attention on them, which is what we were doing before the last break, is putting our awareness and our attention on your tribes, councils, or family of light, and asking them to come in and around you. And again, when they come in and around you, when you bring them into the hemisphere of your energy field, you really can start to sense them a little better, because we all have intuition. We all have sensory awareness. And just because it might seem invisible to the physical eye, you can for sure energetically start to experience them. And the more you do that, the more aware you become of them and the feeling tones, that unique signature tone. So let's say that you are out and about doing something, and all of a sudden you get that warm tone of energy, or that peaceful feeling, or that sense of urgency that's coming from your tribe of light. They may be really in your energy field because they're trying to get you to go in a different direction. They're trying to guide you in some way. So that is something to be aware of, that they do help us with the timing of things, the meeting of people. They, if you can imagine it, like in terms of how they help you to manifest miracles, is that on the energetic level, there's really no time and space necessarily. So a lot of times what they do is, we're in time and space. So we have this series of events that happen in a day. So your tribe of light will go out ahead of you sometimes, knowing that you want to manifest this kind of relationship, or that you want to buy a car, or you want to get interviewed for something, things like that. They will go ahead of you and start lining up. Like maybe you go to a tea shop and you go in to get a cup of tea or coffee or whatever, smoothie or something, a juice, and there's somebody there because you got guided to go right at that time, or this juice shop instead of that juice shop, right? And all of a sudden you'll meet the person that you need to meet, that's going to help you make this other connection that you would have never otherwise made. Or maybe you feel like you got stuck in traffic and you missed a flight, but really there might have been something off with that particular plane or that energy, and you made it to another flight, right? So they do all kinds of stuff to synchronize your day. And the more active, I start my day with them every single day. I invite them in to go before me, to bless my day, to harmonize it. And I just breathe in all of their love for me. So I work with the Great Central Sun Angels. That's in the galactic energy, the galactic tribes. And it comes straight out of like that Great Central Sun energy, right? So I call them in, and I just, call them in, and I just feel their love for me, because they have a tremendous amount of unconditional love. All of our tribes of light do have the gift, it's sort of like a pet of, or children or babies, of loving unconditionally. So I like calling them in and then feeling into just their unconditional love and support from me, that I don't have to do anything for it. It's just a receiving of energy. And then I would oftentimes send my love, adoration, and gratitude to them. And it just becomes this like really cool love fest of energy between their love for me that I'm practicing receiving, because sometimes we don't receive that well. Like as human beings, we get so into the doing mode. I know that I do. And I forget just to receive, just to allow myself to be loved. And if you have trust issues and childhood issues and stuff that goes on, which most of us do, your council of light is a really great way to allow love in a way that kind of bypasses that human element we have sometimes, that we're afraid we're going to be betrayed or rejected or whatever with other people. So when you allow in the energy of your tribe council family of light, it can be a very pure love, a very unconditional love that's not tainted by, sometimes how we might feel people in our life could be, and how people are sort of meant to be here and play out patterns with us. I mean, it's kind of the way it's set up, actually, is that we will love each other, trigger each other, have all kinds of experiences, because we're learning more about love in the long run, right? So in that energy field, there is, this space of just really getting to uh, align with them and allowing them to support you and to help you. So again, you wake up in the morning, do your breathing to center yourself. Just, it's a great way to start and end your day, or take a little mini break. Take several, it's your life, do what you want with it, right? So take mini breaks all through the day, and just do your breathing, literally 10 breaths in, 10 breaths out, to a count of like about 5.5. And you're just focusing on gratitude, and your breath. It will change your entire state of being. It will start attracting so many more good things into your life just by doing that. Then you add in the bonus of your tribe of light and just feel their love for you, and then send forth love, adoration, gratitude to them. And you'll feel it come back even twice as strong. Send it out again to them, and you'll feel it come back even more strong. So again, it builds this huge momentum in your auric field, in your energy field, of just love upon greater love. It's just one of my most favorite things to do with that. And then if you have something that you want to create or you want help with, you can, kind of create a blessing ball of connecting to source and the earth and back up to your heart. But you can create like a big ball of energy if you want in front of you, or you might visualize it or just feel it in your heart, where, whatever it is that you're calling in for the day. And I want to go ahead and do this with you now. I want you to think about something that you want support with. Maybe it's a relationship issue, a financial issue, a health issue. Those are oftentimes top three that come up for us in human form. There might be something else. Maybe there's a project you want to create, a move that you want to make, a new opportunity you're trying to manifest. Maybe there's a bad habit you're trying to get help to get rid of, or a problem that you need a solution to. So just take a moment and just breathe into your heart and kind of listen on a soul level. On a soul level, where would your soul really ask help from? Like, where does your soul want you to focus for a moment? Okay, and once you get that, it might not even be something you were thinking of, but once you sort of get what it is your soul would like you to focus on, or what comes up naturally, let's say in your heart or your higher self. Some people listen more to their higher self. And then from there, whatever it is you have in mind that seems important to you, important to your soul or your higher self. We're going to ask your tribe, council, family, whichever word you want to use of light, to please support that energy, to open up the doorways to, what would it take for this situation to work out in the highest good possible for all. Clear anything, ask your beings of light to help you clear anything in the way of that, and to download you with any of the frequencies, the miracle frequencies, any frequency of light that's going to best support you and being able to manifest what it is you're wanting, whatever the resolution is or the opportunity, the path forward. It's always going to be, just you can qualify it that it's love or above, that it's always of highest service to everyone involved. So again, just calling in and notice if there's an answer, like whatever it is you may be asking for in the moment for support. There may be, sometimes they act as a guidance council. So I want you to notice if there's any information that comes to you, like a next step you can take, or changing up a belief system, a thought form, healing an emotion. So again, I'm just going to give it a moment to see how your tribe, council, family of light can support you. Like, is there anything that I need to do to support what I'm asking for? Anything that, any guidance, higher guidance that they can offer us? Just breathing into that guidance, taking it in. So this is one of the greatest gifts of working with your tribe of light, is that they act as a guidance council. So they not only on the inner levels, they will assist you being at the right place at the right time, creating a synchronicity of miracles and events in your life. Because again, on an energetic level, they will sometimes set stuff up months in advance and guide you in that direction. So if it took months to get that connection to happen, or days or hours or whatever, they do that for you. And you're just inviting them in to please bless my day, bless my life, bless my soul blueprint, bless my divine plan or purpose for today. And just that invitation alone is all they need, because your tribe of light is very respectful to your free will. And all the beings on the tribe of light, whether it's angels, star beings, planetary light beings, galactic councils, cosmic avatars, ascended masters, nature kingdom, they all respect our free will. They never coerce, they never manipulate, they always respect our free will. And that's super important to know. And so it's a good thing, right? And so just inviting them in to assist you as you start your day or anything you're going to do, you'll find that your day just becomes in universal flow, more synchronized, more coherent, that you will have less problems and you will have more opportunities. You'll have less chaos and you'll have more peace and more meaningful connections in your life. It's really pretty amazing how they line things up, actually. On anything from finding a pet that you really want, or finding a home for a pet, or buying a house, or buying a car, finding a parking space, or meeting somebody that, is really meaningful, or making friends. There's just nothing too big or too small they won't help you with. So just keep in mind, they're like your new best friends. And the more you call them in, the more you can feel them, get in touch with them, the more you're going to hear their communication. You're going to sense it, feel it, and know it. So hang on to that for a minute. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back. I am Adrienne, and you can check out my new book, Tribes of Light, a roadmap to manifesting miracles in your life on my website, mywildmagic.com. You can also take the free quiz that I have on my website, mywildmagic.com, to help identify your own personal tribe of light. So now that we're kind of getting into the tribes of light, we're learning a little more about them. I do kind of want to run through for a moment some of the different beings and some of the feeling tones of your tribe of light, right? So you've kind of tapped into them. Hopefully you were able to take the time to kind of breathe in, call them in, really hoping that you had an experience with that. You can send me a message through Transformation Talk Radio. I would love to hear more about your experience with that. And with the cosmic avatars, they are the furthest ones out, like cosmic energy, right? So you can imagine it being the most expansive. There's not quite as many people on the planet that relate to that one. It's a little bit more rare in a sense. It's sort of like the energy of just being, just really having a more affinity of just being a yogi on the mountaintop, being a little bit more maybe reclusive and doing work energetically on behalf of the planet on that level. Sometimes people can be cosmic avatars and really be super involved in the world. Jesus was a cosmic avatar. Mary Magdalene was a cosmic avatar. So there's different beings, but you think about a lot of times your yogis, sometimes your saints, things like that. The next tribe of light that comes in, because I'm going vibrationally, the next one that's second most expanded is going to be the galactic beings. Galactic beings are usually very fiery. They are more aggressive in their style of life. They are very service oriented, very passionate. They could multitask, get a lot of stuff done, and they don't understand why more people aren't being of service. They just don't get it. And they can be very emotional people, but more so passionate people, passionate about things and whatever it is they're doing, and, kind of bringing that energy forward. Whereas the cosmic avatars are usually a little bit more chill. And because they're coming more from a cosmic plane, they don't usually relate that much to time and space, gravity. It's like they just don't buy into a lot of the normal belief systems that people would have in human form. And so their sense of timing, their sense of experience can be very different than a lot of other people. And, they might have more of an eternal sense of timeless, or that time sort of stands still, or the belief system, anything is possible, so, I know that different people can think that, but the cosmic avatars have, like, maybe they might, somebody might say, yeah, I got this and this, but a cosmic avatar would have all 10 points on the line. That's where the quiz comes in, because it kind of has all those questions. And it's like, if you're answering all 10, you're more than likely this or that type of tribe of light. So they are a little bit more etheric. Now, the downside to the cosmic avatars is that they can be very aloof. They cannot want to participate in life. They can also sometimes be seen as having mental illness. They can have geniusness and mental illness to the point that they just don't fit into society because they're so otherworldly that people don't understand them and misinterpret them and don't get it at all. With the galactic beings, they are the downside to them is that they can sometimes be too much for just one person. They can kind of bowl you over. They have so much energy, life force energy, physical energy, magnetism energy, get stuff done energy, that they can sometimes just sort of bowl you over. And they sometimes work better in a group because they do have so much energy that if they learn how to delegate, they can actually do really, really well sending energy out into the world and accomplishing and multitasking great things for the world, and making a big difference that way. The planetary light beings are coming from planetary systems, and the planetary beings oftentimes for me kind of look like tall rays of light. They operate mostly out of their higher self. So the cosmic avatars are more above the head. The galactic beings more come from the heart with like a sense of passion, fiery passion energy. The planetary beings work mostly from the higher self. They don't really like getting emotionally involved in stuff. They don't understand the purpose of emotions. They don't speak the emotional language very well. They do, however, usually have the capacity for great compassion. and patience and peacefulness and negotiating and things like that, but they don't understand why people get so emotionally upset about things. So they do not speak that emotional language. And they have a very brilliant mind. They're really good, like, beings who can oftentimes, like a Bill Gates or a Steve Jobs or those type of beings, they may not relate that well to people that well emotionally, but they do great at coming up with new systems in the world that can really be quite wonderful. So planetary beings are really good at being delegates, really good at communication skills. Barack Obama would be a good example of that, just in terms of communication skills and trying to bring people together and stuff. So regardless of your personal feelings about any one of those people I mentioned, they do have that, some of these other gifts, right? Because we can all use our gifts however we use them. And then, the downside is the planetary beings, when they're not in tune with themselves, when they're not balanced with themselves, they can be quite arrogant and they have to be right about everything. They'd rather be right more than be loved. That's kind of the downside of that one. The star beings are futuristic. They're similar to planetary beings. They're very good at technologies, that kind of thing, right? Well, the star beings are also good with technologies, but they're also good with music, arts, creativity. They have a genius-oriented mind, similar to the planetary beings, but it might be a little bit more creative versus structural and foundational. But they're more childlike, very emotionally involved, and and the downside is they can be so emotional and get caught up in the emotions of others that they can go into ADD very quickly, so that all that brilliant genius, creative mental body energy gets stuck at the medulla oblongata at the base of the head. If they get afraid, if they get overwhelmed or afraid, it shuts down their heart, and then all that creative energy creates like an ADD type symptom, right? But if it stays flowing, it's very fun, it's very playful, it's good, it's nice to be around. The angels come in mostly through the heart. They're communicating more on a soul level, and they are really good at having soul communication and connections with people. They bring forth a lot of healing attributes from the angelic realms. So the people who work with the angels and different types of angels are able to really feel what other people feel. And emotions are kind of on the surface. Star beings are really good at reading the emotional energy of a room or the environment or what's going on. What are they reacting to? Whereas angels would be like, oh, you said you're okay, but I feel like you're sad. Or, oh, it's like they act angry, but really I think they're afraid. You see, so angelic people tend to notice the feeling underneath the surface of all the emotions. And they can definitely, they just want to heal people. They want to be of service to people, very committed on that level. The downside is they can absorb people's emotions to such an extent, particularly the ones people aren't feeling, the deeper ones, and it will overwhelm them. And it can sometimes put them into a victim position with people who maybe are misusing their energy or manipulating them, right? So for angelic people, just keep it in mind that you don't want to turn down your empathy. You want to keep it on, but you also don't want to feel sorry for people. It's better to bless a person than it is to absorb their emotions to try to be helpful. Just bless them, call in your angels and bless them. And that will help a lot for angelic people to feel better. The ascended masters are people who are like master teachers. They have spent many different lifetimes working with living and ascended masters. They come up with systems. They'd rather teach people how to fish than fish for them. They're very practical minded, very grounded, sometimes very earthy, and they can tap into higher spiritual concepts, but they really like teaching. Sort of like a Joe Dispenza type person, and people who are out there in the spiritual field who want to teach have that quality. And then the final one that comes in is the nature beings. And those are also people who are oftentimes very childlike. They can be kind of like star beings. It's just that their love can be very much for being like an artist and being connected to nature and art that relates to nature, having plants around, being connected to the earth, that kind of thing. So these are your 7 primary tribes of light. Again, they can mix and match. You might be a star being that really that's connected with angels, and maybe you're an angelic star being. So you have both, like you're a hybrid. So that brings us full circle with the tribes of light. Thank you so much for being on the podcast today. Again, check out my book, Tribes of Light, and the free Tribes of Light quiz at mywildmagic.com. Have an amazing rest of your day and relationship with your tribes of light. Okay, thank you. Thanks for tuning in to My Wild Magic with me, your host, Adrienne Cobb. Each one of us has a soul purpose on this earth and a higher purpose full of creative expression and unique soul attributes. Make sure to tune in next week on transformationtalkradio.com to continue your journey home to your truest self and pursue the path of unconditional self-love. If you would like to learn more about me, visit mywildmagic.com. Again, that's mywildmagic.com.